Hey everyone, welcome back to the Old Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And joining me today is a very special guest, hailing from Deutschland, Thoralf, Schulze. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Hope you too.
That sounds good. And special shout out to your band partner, Marco Mueller, actually, for helping put this all together. Because he had emailed me about some music you do with the power metal group as well as progressive group, Factory of Art.
Yeah.
That sounds good. And I guess talk about Factory of Art a little bit. I guess when did you join?
I joined the band in 2007. It was we had a project together, a side project together, Factory of Art, and the musicians of Factory of Art and we were friends. I played this time in another band, Grain of Sand. It was a project between industrial and progressive metal, but we are friendly connections, and Factory of Art is a band with more than 30 years history, and they had a break. They had let me say a career. They were a good starting band, had support acts. They played with Yngwie Malmsteen, Metal Church, Gravedigger, Destruction, but then the wave didn't go further, and they had to create a new way, and they didn't found this new way. And so some of the musicians of the original lineup decided to leave the band and start own projects. Most of them are musicians with cover bands. They earn and make their money with these kind of music, and we started the project for the second time in 2007, and I was a guitarist. They decided to enter. Yeah.
That's so badass. And you guys got some experience playing with some big name acts like Yngwie Malmsteen, Metal Church, and Destruction.
Yeah.
Heard about all those groups.
Yeah, and it's now you may say you have so many young talented metal bands in Europe, in America, in Scandinavia, in Sweden, Norway, but you have our league is some of the bands, the older bands are still exist in Germany. And we try to play with the game, the game with the boys again. And now we have, I think, let me think about 5 years. I think we are directly on the way to reopen the Factory of Art again. We have a side project to make some money. To be honest, we have a cover project too. Factory of Art is our main project, but Factory Undercover is another thing we do, and we play 3 hours of our metal and hard rock heroes. We start with AC/DC, play Rammstein, Van Halen, such things. But it's the market. It's a situation for bands like us. To get gigs and make some money, it's easier to say, okay, we play from AC/DC to Van Halen. Fine, thank you. If you ask, hey, we are Factory of Art and want to play a show with only our own material, it's more difficult here in Germany, because the metal scene here in East Germany, where we live and play, is not so big. Not so good for us.
I see. Which part of East Germany are you in? I think I was seeing it was Leipzig.
It's Saxony, Leipzig, yeah. 100 miles in the southeast of Berlin. Germany is not so big, not so big country. That's why we are uh, 100 miles in the southwest of Berlin, not so far from Dresden. But Leipzig is a town in East Germany who very known here in this part of our country, and it's a good place for musicians.
Yeah, I've interviewed a good number of people out of Germany already. I think you're
Yeah.
probably the biggest one I've interviewed right now, so I'm actually kind of a little nervous.
Yeah,
So,
it's in West Germany, in Bochum, in Cologne, and so on. The scene, the hard rock and metal scene, is lives more here in East Germany. First of all, I think it's electronic music, clubs and shows with DJs are the favorite thing here, and we try it. We see.
all right, that sounds good. So, Thoralf, I want to welcome you to my podcast right here. And the way this is going to work is I'm just going to ask you some questions so we get to know you more, both as the musician, mainly you in particular, but you can also elaborate on the band as we keep going along right here. But let's get to know you a little bit more. So, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Good to go.
So, let's start. So, let's start off with you in particular, I guess. Who are you? Because you're the guitar player of the group, right?
Yeah, I'm the best because the one and only guitar player in this band, and I'm Thoralf, and I'm not a musician by profession, but by passion, I ever say, because I make my money as a pedagogical director of a boarding house school, and I teach Latin languages. But music for me ever was and ever will be, I think, the most favorite thing in the time beside my job. And I learned to play violin for 11 years. And if you hear some guitar parts of me, you will see, okay, I'm not a blues guitarist, but you will hear some neoclassical elements in my solos. The reason why it's because I learned violin. I have a great family, love my family very much, and my band is my favorite passion, you may say.
Oh, that's so cool. And I was actually real big into strings as well. I was actually a cello player way back in the day. And that was actually what we call elementary school. I don't know how the school system works in Germany, but it was elementary school through high school. But I did not take it to college or university, as Europeans would probably call it. So unfortunately, it became a lost art. And instead, I took up drums as well afterwards.
Okay.
So,
and from like it's a little bit like my way. I studied violin, I said, and sometimes my sister gave me a MC, a music cassette with the first Van Halen album, and on the other side, I think Highway to Hell from AC/DC, and that was a moment for me to say, okay, violin is okay, but guitar is better. And my first single then was a gift of my sister too, was Slate, Squeeze Me, Please Me. And from this moment, I had in an imagination how a rock and roll singer has to sing. And that's why it's for me the hard music, heavy music always was the first thing.
I say, I think I got to ask your sister how she got into those sorts of music as well. Because normally it would be like your parents, I guess mainly your dad, because he would always like that sort of music that was like big and inspirational from the classic rock too. So that's very interesting.
My parents wanted me to play violin further because I was talented, but I was a lazy bone in practicing. And it's a funny story. I played at the age of 7, 8, 9, I think, duets with a young guy who is now the concertmaster of the Dresden Staatskapelle. It means for me, if I would be a little bit, not how to say in English, I don't know. If I had practiced more on the violin, could be nice. but was not my way.
I know what you mean too, and it's always strange when the parents want to force you to,
Okay,
or
but
I should say force, but they want you
they
to do
were,
something.
yeah, they were very proud as they saw me first time with my band, with my first band on stage. It was okay for them too.
It was
They
say,
loved
like
it.
they're probably walking
Yeah.
in like anticipating like, oh god, this is not going to be good, or something like that.
No, I think it was too loud for them, but they were proud. Okay, if it's for me, okay. Yeah.
All right, this is what your son wants to do. Let your son follow his passion.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to too. I think it's also because they want to do like a process of elimination. So it's almost like, okay, you want to take up an instrument. Here's your whole row. You can pick the bands, strings, also infused as like guitar and jazz and that sort of stuff too. So it's like take your pick, that sort of thing too. So you end up jumping at one instrument, but then eventually end up going into another one at some point too. So
Yeah.
at least that's how my story was. So, and it seems like you had mentioned that you were also a Latin teacher before you joined Factory of Art. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct, but not before. I'm still a Latin teacher because we are not a professional band. We only sound like a professional band. But it's for us here in Germany. The business is too hard. I told you the scene. You could say doesn't exist anymore. If you look to America, if you look to Scandinavia here, you see, I think, hundreds of talented bands, and they publish albums and play good tours, and wow. For us, is we take, I think, we take our last chance to have some effort with our music to get some attention with our new album.
Yeah, there's quote unquote professional sort of things. That sort of thing too.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. No. It's actually very killer music too.
But we play for money. We do it for money. But it's not that it is enough to live from our gigs.
But I was like, come on, people, I need to pay the bills.
Just not. We tried further. Yeah.
That's it to me too. So I guess let's go ahead and talk about the band a little bit too, because if you want to elaborate a little bit more on, I guess, what you were talking about earlier, I guess, go ahead. So who is Factory of Arts?
Factory of Art is a melodic, progressive power metal band. Now we are the actual lineup. We have our singer Petri, we have our drummer Ralle, we have our bass player Ron, and we have our bass musician, our keyboarder and singer Gunther. Then me on guitars, and that's all. It's a classical Deep Purple lineup. One guitar, one keyboard, bass, drums, singer. But the special thing, Factory of Art in the 90s had Gunther as lead singer. He was a very, very smart young man with a very high level voice. And for the first album, Grasp, if you look to our back catalog, he was the lead singer on Grasp. Then the lineup changed elementary. Gunther left the band. The drummer Wolf left the band, and they took a keyboarder into the lineup. And the new singer Petri, for the second album, the Tempter album, joined Factory of Art. And so it is for us now that we have the first lead singer Gunther and the second lead singer Petri in one band now. It means if I would make it a little bit bigger than it is, we have Bon Scott and Brian Johnson in our lineup. And that's in very, I think, a very interesting lineup for the fans, because if you ask here in Leipzig or wherever here in East Germany, do you know Factory of Art? Yeah, Factory of Art in the 90s, yeah, with Gunther, yeah, Grasp album. Another one says, no, not Grasp, the Tempter album with Petri on what. Now we have both singers in the lineup, and that's the good chance for us, I think, because they have different styles of singing, and we combine it in our new material.
Yeah, I like the little metaphor you did with Bon Scott,
Yeah.
and like it's like the little AC/DC references too.
Yes, the wish of millions of AC/DC fans came true. Two lead singers in the band. For us, it's a very, very interesting thing, because we can combine these two lead singers. It's very, very great. I know that in younger, more talented bands, the lead singer can sing different ways, either growling or singing it. But we combine these two persons, Gunther and Petri, to make a conception that everyone will hear. That are two several singers, and that's nice, I hope.
Well, it better be. No. It actually sounded pretty killer, because actually before we hopped on the call, I was checking out your YouTube channel and checking out some of the live songs you guys were doing.
Yeah.
And, actually, first off, Petrie, he had a boot around his foot. I guess what happened to his foot in that one? Because I'm thinking like he's probably holding it in the whole time, but I'm giving him some stones for holding it in.
Yeah, and for us, the advantage is we can play the Grasp songs with the original singer, and the Tempter songs too with the original singer. That's a good basic, or a good base for making some new material, and so it works.
Yep, 1 + 1 = 2 in this case. So,
okay.
Actually, the way your front man Petrie actually kind of struck me as like a Rob Halford, sort of look from Judas Priest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Halford lookalike, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, both bald right now. I'm starting to dig that there. That's why I'm wearing this hat right now, to hide my baldness. That's slowly developing.
But Petrie is not only our singer, he has so many ideas for the band at all. He writes all our lyrics. He can imagine things and write the words that for that we can say, okay, it's your job, Petrie, for the lyrics. He has ideas. We have had a video production for a new album, for a new song, and Petrie got the ideas. We have to go to a theater. We have to make things this way. He wrote a storyboard, and I think, from where do you take these ideas? I don't know. But he is, if you can say that, he is the motor of these things. Musically, we all work together, but Petrie is our guide in these things a band needs too. Yeah.
There could not be one. There could be two. And that's be that sort of thing. Actually, I think it was like a Highlander sort of reference instead of like there can be only one.
In Germany, we say multi-professional. That's, but it's we are very happy with this situation because of course, we only want to make music. Yeah, give us a few hours and we want to play. But if you start a band project here in Germany without a record company, and we all want to do the thing by ourselves, then it's so necessary that one guy lead the whole group in these things beside the music, and that is Petrie, and of course Marco.
Sure. Which instrument does Marco play?
Marco doesn't play an instrument. He is not a band member as a musician. He's our manager and our friend.
I see. The guy behind the scenes.
He takes care of these things to contact you and other stations to make Factory of Art a little bit more famous and get some attention for us. And he is very busy with this. sometimes we say, oh, come Marco, don't, not yet. We have to write some songs, we have to jam. No. You have to listen first and say your opinion to this. And this is his job. He played drums, I think, as a young man, but he's not a musician. He's a fan.
A hobbyist for the drummer. That'd be nice. It would be nice to jam with him one of these days too. But again, Dankeschön, Marco, for putting this together. So
Yeah.
You can tell him that too. Actually, I know some German, but unfortunately it's become a lost art because it took 4 years of that through high school. And actually, my chosen German name in class was actually Gunther.
Gunther.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, it worked too. So I was the best student in the class. At least I get bragging rights for that. So
Okay.
I guess talk about the gear you use. I guess just your guitar. What sort of brand is it? And then if you want to talk about your picks as well, go ahead.
There's a funny story. If you ask a guitarist, how many guitars do you need still? The answer is ever the same. Just one more. And I play on stage. I play my beloved Ibanez Paul Gilbert model. It's an original instrument from 1993, from his Mr. Big Times. And I play several Ibanez models, but I love Jackson guitars too, because they for fast playing they are very good. And now I discovered a Scandinavian model, Solar. I don't know if you know them in America. Ibanez, Jackson, Solar. And I'm a lazy. I'm very often practicing play guitar, but I am so lazy, and I'm a lazy bone. If you think about amps or effects or that, you see these guitarists with 2 square meters of single effects, or not my thing. Absolutely not. I play a multi-effect, one thing, direct to the PA, 3 sounds, rhythm, clean, solo, enough. I have to, it's my opinion, I have to make the tone with my fingers and with my guitar. Sure, I need some effects for soloing, and I'm not. I love Malcolm Young very much, but I'm not a guitarist who plays only nearly without distortion. I am a high gain sound guitarist. It needs for me some pressure, some sustain to make my sound. I play line 6 effects, and most of our gigs or most of our shows I play only these directly to the PA from my pedal board. I have just one Mesa Boogie triple rectifier. If you're going to the next world tour, I will take him on stage, but now for our shows I play with a pedal board from line 6. First of all, for me is important to play the right guitar, the right instrument, and Ibanez for me is very good.
Yeah, I've heard of Ibanez. I don't know about Solar, was it? Or Sola? Was that what it's called?
Yeah.
So it's too big light, is I would like to say.
It's I think it depends on the development and the metal scene in Scandinavia, in Norway and in Sweden. They have so many talented young guitarists, and the pickups in the Solar guitar, just one moment. The lady in black, I show you the Solar, nice thing. The pickups are very, very full of sustain. Maybe they don't sound so good as clean with clean sounds, but if you have the right distortion sound, it will give you hell.
It
Right.
gives you hell, yeah. Actually, I was gonna say it looked like a Oblivion sort of color, so it's probably a name you could probably use for it. But they looked absolutely badass. So I'll
Yeah.
have to check out that brand. I know they do something with bass because I used to actually play bass way back in the day. Actually, it was my dad who passed it on to me. And unfortunately, it was like you. I was a little lazy. I never really got committed to it, unfortunately. Even though I have done a couple of bass covers.
If I meet other guitarists on stage and they show me what they do with their effects or amps, I'm full of I don't know exactly. I wonder how they do that, but it doesn't motivate me to study it. Sorry. For me, the best way would be I'd had a guitar technician who will makes it for me, but that is not our level. I have to take care by myself. Ron, our bass player, for example, has 2 solar basses too, but he has 2 Ibanez basses. He plays, I think, these Ibanez basses he plays since more than 25 years. The 2 albums, Graphs and Tempter, he recorded with these basses, and if we have a rehearsal, he plays the solo basses. We all say, "Oh, good sound, good sound." Then he takes the old one, Ibanez. Boom! Oh, yeah, nice. That's Factory of Art sound. Thank you. Sometimes it is, yeah. But for me, Ibanez and Jackson are the guitars number 1 and 2.
Yeah, good choices. And your bass is Rod. I would see him in those live videos you have on your YouTube channel too. I was thinking, like, man, he's an intimidating figure too when he's definitely in the zone. So,
okay,
and kind of like he had like little armor set going on and everything too. But he did an excellent job. So you can pass it on to him.
Yeah.
So good, Ron. So good, Ron. Okay. I guess in terms of like inspirations too, because you had mentioned about Van Halen earlier, and I was seeing how your playing was with the finger tapping and everything during your solos. I think like that's definitely Van Halen right off the bat too. So I guess who influenced you in terms of guitar?
Wow. Oh, that's that's a hard question. I think what means the rhythm guitar, not the sound, but the kind to play rhythm guitar. For me, Malcolm Young of AC/DC is the greatest player because so exactly, so full of rhythm. But I'm a great fan of Steve Morse. Deep Purple is just one station of him. I liked the Dixie Dregs album too. Sure, Zakk Wylde. I said I'm not a blues guitarist, and he played on the first 2 albums with Ozzy, No Rest for the Wicked and No More Tears. What does this guy do there? It's rock and roll, it's blues, it's metal, and it's technical like hell. It was so great. I often hear for creating a tone, a warm tone, Gary Moore and Paul Gilbert from Mr. Big and Eraser X. But most influenced, I'm Dimebag Darrell for rhythm guitar from Pantera. But I hear so many good and fabulous guitarists in so many bands. I hope that these old heroes I named that they will survive. But for me, the greatest influence I think was Malcolm Young and Paul Gilbert.
Yeah, Malcolm Young from AC/DC still wearing out the school uniform. He still rocked out back in the day. And,
but now it's in Europe it's ridiculous in the charts. First place, Beatles with this new song. What? The Beatles? Second place, the Rolling Stones with a new album. What? Third, orchestral maneuvers in the dark. What? I think in the 60s, 70s, 80s, which time we live now. But it's very interesting. And for us as a not so young band as Factory of Art, it's a good chance because the people between 40 and 60 still hear their music. And that's our chance. They know Factory of Art from the 90s, from 2002, and that's our chance. We say we are back in 2023.
Or as easy to go, back in black.
Yeah, like this. Yeah. My influences, yeah, I told you the right guys. Yeah, I think.
It's funny when you mentioned about Zach Wild, too, because now he's doing Zach Sabbath, where he's like covering Aussie songs. They've not been like blasting Fairies Wear Boots a good number of times already. Still the old boy, he knows how to shred.
Yeah. But the Pantera project, I'm interested in too. Yeah, very, very. With Zach Wild on guitar, it's the only one way it will work. I think it's very, very impressive for me. But I told you just twice, I think there are so many good, talented new bands on the market.
That's for sure. And actually, a little group we're part of, band together on Facebook. I guess, are you guys a part of it?
Yeah, we are.
And that actually brought together many of these great artists as well. Some of them actually are from Germany. And the one that comes to mind right now, I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but Steam Slicer, Joel. And, I actually interviewed him not too long ago, and actually he's got a French name and a German territory too. So it's almost like, I don't know. I think Germans hate the French. I thought that's how it was supposed to go.
I think not yet, but I really don't know so many French bands in our music. There are some progressive bands I know, and most of our colleagues in the hard scene come from America, from Great Britain, and from Norway, Sweden. This guy.
Hey, you guys are right in the middle of it all.
Yeah,
as we like to say. They come straight down. I know Sweden did a long time ago too. So that's always interesting, and especially how much Sweden, Denmark brought along.
Yeah, in Sweden or in Norway, don't live so many people. I don't know where come so many musicians from. But it's very, very interesting scene. Our drummer Ralle and our singer Petri they know this scene from Scandinavia very, very good. Once a week they go to a show from In Morning or such bands, and they it's great music. They are very talented, but just the Blues Brothers said, a band is just a band, and we try to be a good band. And I think we play together for more than 20 years now in this lineup, nearly 20 years. And I think you hear this, that we harmonize and work together on stage or in the studio.
There's a good bit of harmony that keeps the whole group together. And that's the big thing you need these days. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I guess this question is directed at you personally, I guess. So what is it that you loved most about music?
What I love most about it, I make my money with as a director of a boarding house school, which is with very connected with classical music. That means I know very good classical music. I love the other extreme metal and hard rock music. I listen to some other things, but for me, the most important thing is that music transports emotions. I'm a musician, not by profession, but by passion. I hear if there are good musicians at work. I don't like music made by musicians who can't play very good. So sorry. I'm not a Keith Richards fan. But for me, music is my favorite passion. I think that music can express so much. I think all people need to hear music, to feel music. Um, and for me, I can enjoy music, to say it short.
Yeah, and it's actually funny when you talk about classical music in your main job, because it seems like it came full circle. The whole thing with the violin comes back to
Yeah.
haunt poor Thoralf. And actually, what sort of classical music were you really into? Do you still do the old Mozart's, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky?
Tchaikovsky, but in Leipzig, the most important classical composer is Johann Sebastian Bach, because he lived and worked there in Leipzig. And Mendelssohn Bartholdy, that's are my faves in classical music. I don't understand, and that's the reason why I don't like so much jazz music. No talent metal band, I don't know. I can't a little bit fusion jazz or jazz rock, Colosseum and such things, but I'm not a jazz freak, and I have my problems with blues music. I can respect these kinds of music, these genres, but it's not so close to me. Yeah, the only one thing I combine with reggae music, for example, that I like some older Police songs from Sting and Co. But and Bob Marley and such things, and not for me. That's it's not. This is for me. I think I can understand hard music. I can understand classical music, because I know both of these genres nearly whole of my life. The other things are not so close to me.
Also, it's the Police song "Don't Stand So Close to Me."
Genau.
Yeah. You know what? You cannot forget Bach. I always forget about Bach too. That's unfortunate, because I think outside of like his little cello concertos that I actually had, I don't really know too much outside of Bach. I know there was a couple songs we did back in school.
Okay.
I just can't remember off the top of my head. I don't know. Did he do Orpheus and the Underworld?
Because you told me about Tchaikovsky, these great concertos for violin and piano, it's great and fantastic music. I told you that in our hometown in Leipzig, Bach is the one and only, maybe. But I think that several experiences with music in my life, as a boy with a violin in an orchestra, then later as a young man in a band, it make another man, another person out of me. Yeah, and that's why I think that music is very, very important. And I think if I hear if some very talented pop stars in America sell 70 million albums, I think, wow, what that? Um, and I listen to the music and think, okay, not so bad, but produced perfectly, sung perfectly. But where is the music? Where is the point of? I don't know in English. Who cares about? Yeah, listening is one thing, but thinking and feeling, where is it? It's like I don't understand much from about, or don't know about much about painting and these things, but I know, okay, this is a picture I have to think about. It's not only nice, it's a little bit interesting, and that's for me in the music scene now is a little problem. They sell millions of tons of albums, and it's for me it's difficult to say, wow, yes, I know why they sell so much album.
Basically because of presence. That's all they were Taylor Swift.
But I am an old guitarist in an old metal band. Who cares about my opinion?
It's just 1 out of a million, we should probably say. But that's all good. I'll have to look to see what songs Bog actually did. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, to get on a serious topic, and from some of the people I have interviewed from Deutschland, they talked about COVID a little bit too. So I guess, how bad did COVID impact you and the band?
I told you that I'm a director of a boarding house school.
Yes.
And I, with my colleagues, was responsible, therefore, for make the right decisions for our students. I have to create plans and schedules for them. That's the one thing. But a few months ago, we had to make plans, not only for make the system work, but for let the people and the students stay healthy. That was it was so and a so hard time, and we couldn't play, we couldn't have shows, we couldn't these things. And I think in our society the conflict between the people on street and the government became bigger, because they had to say how it works, but nobody did know how it works. It was terra incognita, to take it on talk Latin a little bit. And I think that Germany survived the COVID pandemic very good now, I think. But for musicians and other artists, it was a hard time, and I think we in Germany we lost a lot of them because the opportunity to make music or to play in the theater was not it didn't exist. And I think if I look to Germany today, I think it's okay. We have more problems with the war in the Ukraine, and because of our German history, we are especially involved in the conflict in Israel and Gaza. That's more important now for us. The people forget COVID nearly as fast as it came. Yeah, that is now. If you are in a train or in a bus, nobody wears a mask. 1.5 years ago, everybody wore a mask. Now okay, we are on a normal way, and that's why I think COVID is a chapter of our life here, not more, not less. Germany and Russia. In East Germany, we have a special relationship to Russia because the Soviet Union was in socialistic times our great and big brother. Most of the people here in East Germany think that Russian people are okay, but I think that the president is a crazy guy. Yeah, he's a crazy guy, and he makes the world the world nicht better, sondern a worst place momentary. But most of people in my age speak Russian because we studied in school, and we know the literature and Pushkin and another one, and the music, Tchaikovsky, Shostakovich, and so on. And maybe we have another special view to Russia. But the war against the Ukraine, it's the worst thing in Russia for the last 60 years.
Yeah, you ain't lying. And
that they have some problems now because the president Zelensky needs help from Europe, but needs help from America. And you in America have now some problems with the Congress. I think I heard to make the money flow for the Ukraine. I think
They share a bed with Putin, as I like to say. So, needless to say, Putin just has the money to just do this and that, influence what's going on here. It's pretty shitty living.
But
I imagine pretty shitty living in Russia, to be honest.
Yeah, and we all hope on more peaceful times. But now at the moment, it's dangerous, I think.
Yeah, you're in line.
And
Let's see what happens. We'll tread carefully.
Yeah,
but, the question was, did you get sick from COVID in general? Did you get real sick?
No. I got as one of the first teachers here in East Germany, my first vaccination, and I think it was okay for me, and I got through these times without any problems. I had contact to so many people, students, friends, family, but I was not sick of COVID.
All right, that's very good to hear. It's good to have you around here, mate.
Yeah, thanks God.
Thank the Lord. So I guess moving on to the next question right here. I guess what's been the challenges you guys have been facing? Because it seems like Marco is doing all the behind the scenes for you to get shows and interactive interviews and podcasts. So
yeah. What we are doing now means that we play shows. First of all, we play shows with our own material as Factory of Art, with the cover project Factory Undercover. We just finished the work on our third full-length album. The name is Back to Life, because between the Tempter album and Back to Life, there was a break of 20 years, and now we made a video clip for one of the songs, and now we await for the final mix and masters. And we are not so talented, but we are rich, and that's why we have a contract with Jakob Hansen in Denmark. He is a Grammy nominee, mixer and engineer, and produced albums of Volbeat, KK's Priest, and such gurus. Now he mixes and masters our new album, and the first mixes, revision mixes we hear. We are speechless. It's so great for us. Yeah, and if we have the album, if we will have finished the album, third album, we have to promote the album, and we hope we don't dream about millions of dollars or euros, but we hope that Factory of Art will become a band you hear about, talk about. We want to play some festival gigs. That would be nice. And that that's the thing we now work. And Marco is the motor in these things. He contacts promoters and so on. That's our it's our daily thing. Now we have to practice, we have to make rehearsals, because recording this album, we had some ideas, great, this sounds great, but now we have to realize it on stage. And now we realize, wow, sounds nice, but how I played it at this moment, that's why we have to work hard now in the rehearsal room to get the songs together for the live shows.
All right, good luck there, mate. I had to ask, did Factory of Art do any sort of touring, or do they always sticking around Germany, like way back in the day and pre-COVID?
Now we have to. It depends on the promotion of the new album. We have some contact to a very good German metal band, Depressive Age, and try to make some shows with them together. Marco tries to contact promoters and festivals. We will play not in the evening on the main stage, but in the afternoon on the second stage, maybe. That's our goals today. And now it's for us, it's not so easy to get gigs, because I told you the scene here in East Germany is not so the right.
It isn't the same as it used to be.
Yeah. And we have to look, and Marco has to work and to contact. But we hope we will go to a level where we are that we can say, okay, that's okay for us. And surely we hope it could be to get a higher level, but that we can plan.
Or as the Pantera song goes, a new level. That's
Yes.
that thing. And I know you talked about Pantera before, and not to get off track, but what do you think of their new lineup with Zakk Wylde and Charlie Benante?
I was totally surprised, and after a minute I thought, yes, this is the only one guitar player who can replace Dimebag Darrell, not by technique or so, but if you see this guy, and I saw him live with Black Label Society in Leipzig and with Ozzy in West Germany. This guy, yes, he can replace Dimebag. It's very authentic show. If I look only on YouTube, it's fantastic. And so I think it works fantastic. I think Rex Brown on bass looks like an old man, but characteristically, Phil Anselmo looks like in the 80s. What the fuck, how he does it? And Zaki on guitar is very great. I like it.
Yeah, I can see your point. I just don't think Pantera was the right word, since Dimebag Darrell was the one who formed it with his brother Vinny.
Yeah. It's hard for a die-hard fan to respect another person. If I look, you had in America just the Power Trip Festival with all these great bands, Metallica, Iron Maiden, and AC/DC, just in October. If sure, I tried to look at YouTube about the AC/DC show. I'm a die-hard fan, but AC/DC without Phil Rudd on drums and Malcolm Young on guitar, it's not AC/DC. Sorry. I hear them since the late 70s, but it's hard for me. That's why you may be right if you say, okay, Zakk can not replace Dimebag, but the product Pantera works for me now with this actual lineup.
And to each his own too. I'm just a little torn on it, but I can see your point. So best of luck to him going forward. And for the next question right here, for the Band Together group, what sort of advice would you give to musicians in our community and to other musicians as well?
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm in the position to give advices, but I can only tell you my experiences. Don't try it alone. A band is a band, and a song is not a song because a good song because the guitar riff, only the guitar riff or the harmonies are good. A song sells by the singing, by the voice. Many people may say, oh, a good guitarist, good keyboard player, oh, what bass and drum, wow. But they want to hear the message of a song, and this makes a singer. And if my only advice is think for guitarists, don't only think about or take care about the riffing or the harmonics. Think about the vocal lines. That's necessary.
Yeah, especially in the progressive and even the power metal scenes.
Yeah,
Your type
yeah,
of music does like sort of stories, for instance, whether it be like fantasy or about real life situations.
yeah. I think it's not the only right way to make very, very powerful music and wah, wah, and then comes the refrain, the chorus. It's maybe nice, but Fear Factory was the one and only in the past. That's nice, but it's not the only way. I think you have to think about the vocal line from the start of write a if you start to write a song, you have to not only the riffs, it's for me important, but you have to hear in your brain or in your soul the vocal lines. Because I think in our part of music, in rock music, instrumentals are okay for musicians, but for the whole public, you need to send your message about your singer. That's why I'm a great fan. I'm sure other guitarists influenced me, but I most of the people in rock music which influenced me are the lead singers. Sammy Hagar, for example. Boah, what a guy! What a voice! Brian Johnson, sure, but all the other guys. And a funny story. If you see metal shows in TV, here in Germany we have a great festival in summer, the Wacken Open Air. Don't know if you heard about it.
Oh yeah.
If you see a band, okay, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, drummer, singer, blah blah blah. Then the lead guitarist plays a solo. Every second time he plays a solo, they show in this moment the bass player. Because it's a funny fact, but it is. And so a funny story to make my opinion come true. The singer is the most important person in the band.
Yeah, especially since they're the one who usually drives it. I know there's like a couple of those bands that are just like instrumentals, like Joe Satriani, for instance.
Sure, I love Joe Satriani. It's nice, but we are two of not so many people who know Joe Satriani at all. Sure, there is a scene, but and I'm hearing Dixie Drake, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Steve Morse, and so on. But if you ask me to give an advice for young musicians, I think, and I say, mark my words, think about the vocal line.
That sounds good. Dankeschön. And I guess what's the plans for 2024? Because we're already coming up on Christmas, so I'm assuming you at least got your Christmas shopping out of the way.
Oh yeah, we have to do some work for the band. We have to promote the new album, and in 2024 we will publish the new album Back to Life. We will play it live, and I'm afraid we come to the point that we say, okay, that was the work with the new album Back to Life. What's now? And for me personally, think about just new songs for the next album. But I hope that we get a chance to play our new material on festivals or gigs and shows. Maybe in Germany, not only in East Germany, in Leipzig, in the whole country of Germany, maybe some more. Yeah, that would be my wish. That is our plans. But to be honest, at the moment we have more shows with our cover project. That's life. But we try it.
All right, sounds good. Let's say good luck to you, mate, because it seems like if you get like too much projects all at once, and then clogs up the schedule too, especially since you're working a full-time job as well.
Yeah.
So, because what you mean, but I was trying to remember. Viel Glück. I think that was good luck. I want to make sure.
Thank you very much.
Good look. And I had to take this off. It's starting to get a little hot right now. We've already talked for a good hour right now, so that's all good. And I guess my briefs for those pretty good. So I guess we'll go and get to some fun questions, and then we'll think of some more maybe down the line. So ready for some fun ones?
So for some personal things. Oh,
Yeah.
I love to drink dry red wine. That's if you go on stage, the whole band drinks beer, the guitarist drinks dry red wines. So sorry, but I love Stephen King novels very much. Stephen King is my favorite author. I have, I think, 25, 30 books of him here. I have a great family, 4 children, a big house, like you too, I think, and I think I'm a happy man.
That's good. And I would say my house is a good size. I don't know if it's as big as yours.
To make a long story short, I'm a happy man.
That's very good.
Family, very good. Job, very good. Band, very good. Okay. What else?
All is good in the world. That's good. I guess, what would you say is your favorite movie? Do you watch a lot of American films?
Movie. Wow, my favorite movie. It's not so easy to answer because I only know the German titles. Steven, as my first horror shocker was Steven Spielberg's. I think it means in American Saw. Also, the White Shark. It was the German title. With a great white shark at the coast of America. Steven Spielberg, 70s. Then let me see, let me think. Stephen King's It. Then Contact with Jodie Foster.
Those are good choices.
To name 3. Yeah.
I think it was Jaws you were referencing earlier.
Yeah, Jaws. Yeah. With this fantastic music. That's yet. Yeah, Jaws.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Only the first and original part. I could see it every day. And now I'm interested to look Oppenheimer. Did you see this movie just yet?
I've heard about it, but I have not watched it yet.
Yeah, that I want to watch now, maybe in the next days. And the problem is we are Netflix viewers all over the world now, and it means pictures is very, very hard. But I told you 3. I think that's are my faves. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And for the next one, what would you say is your favorite food?
Favorite food? I love Asian food. In my profession, we had concert tours in the pre-COVID era to Japan, South Korea, Singapore, and so on. And I love the original Asian food. It's my fave.
That's good choices. Unfortunately, in America, it's butchered in a way because it's just throwing rice in a grease pot and they just throw some chicken in there.
Yeah.
Not authentic.
Yeah, but especially the Korean style of cooking is very, very interesting.
I have to say, I think we tried a couple of them from like certain dishes we would get in the mail.
Yeah.
This Hello Fresh, and they had a couple. I want to say one was Hippie Map or something like that. I don't know. I think I always pronounce it wrong too, but I'm not gonna try to kill myself trying to know how to pronounce it right.
Yeah. Here in Germany is the same thing. You have to look very, very long to get a very, very good original kitchen in the restaurants here. Leipzig has hundreds of restaurants and Asian restaurants, but you have to try several ones to find the right one.
Yeah, you ain't lying. So, but it's good to see the restaurant industry does well. So
yeah.
And they mentioned about drinks. I will go ahead and jump this one. What is currently your favorite song?
My favorite song. Oh, what a question. Oh,
Unfortunately, we're putting him on the hot spot. He's going to have to probably
oh,
betray his band.
bah. I have to separate this in my life. Um, I think that Back in Black is one of the best rock songs, hard rock songs ever made. But I think Dream Theater's Pull Me Under is another special thing. Pink Floyd has Another Brick in the Wall. Ozzy Osbourne, Mama, I'm Coming Home, the perfect power ballad. Van Halen, When Love Walks In. How you can play so groovy, melodic, and heavy at the same time. Factory of Art. All the material. No, just a little bit. And Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark. What a hymn. An anthem for all people who like hard music. Oh, if I think about, I could name you 150, I think. But these were in the first moment I thought Back in Black is so great. But I don't know exactly. These things. Back in Black, Fear of the Dog, Mama, I'm Coming Home, Another Brick in the Wall, Pull Me Under. The big five.
All right, that's good enough. Actually, I did do drum covers with Fear of the Dark and Pull Me Under. And I had such a blast doing Fear of the Dark because I actually did little clips from like the horror movies, for instance, like Wolfman and Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And those ones. So
we talked about instrumentals. Dokken, George Lynch, Mr. Scary. Wow, what a wonderful piece of music. Wow, the best, I think. Okay.
That's good, yeah. All right. So, Thoralf, we're nearing the end of my podcast right now. We are down to one more question. Did you have any questions for me or anything you want to say before we jump into it?
Yeah. I'm interested in, you said you looked to our material here, our songs. What do you think about Factory of Art? To be honest.
Well, at first I was surprised because I didn't think I thought this was like a newer band at first.
Yeah.
And then I saw like, oh, some of these are from the 90s when they had the younger looks, the longer hair and everything too. So, and actually the production and everything was very good.
Thank you.
Very good, I would say. And listening to it too, as well as even from the songs that Marco had sent to me, which I put into my other videos, which was the McGrips show. I actually put a Story of Pain in that one. So that was an interesting one. And then I always had to laugh because they were always speaking German before the song kicked off, but then they would sing the song in English. So.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's in Germany phenomenon. We have Rammstein, okay, German language, German music. We have the Scorpions, but English for us in Germany, it's so much easier to write lyrics for us in English because almost the whole rock music sings English. That's why in our ears rock music also only sound right with English lyrics. My second question to you is, what are your favorite bands? Ooh. What music do you?
I tend to get into a lot more of the heavier metal. So, unfortunately, well, some of them. Unfortunately, if I leave Factory of Art, does that mean you guys are going to hate me? But It was actually Dying Fetus and Misery Index that got me into the death metal scene.
Okay.
But I also got into progressive bands like Between the Buried and Me, for instance.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And a little bit of Dream Theater, but I would say more so in progressive was Between the Buried and Me. And then there was some technical like Nile, Decapitated from Poland.
Yeah.
A little bit of Behemoth. I could say Behemoth from Poland as well. Let's see what else was there.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah.
And then In Flames.
In Flames, sure.
Yeah, you can't have In Flames without any sort of metal talk. That's the thing. So, and then I think that's about it. I think after that it was mostly American bands, Suffocation, Immolation, Incantation, those sorts of bands, Deicide, and Morbid Angel.
And what is the most selling hard rock band or a metal band in America now, these days? What do you think?
You mean in terms of like bands or how the music is going?
Five Finger Death Punch?
That's one of them. I think they kind of lost their edge in a way.
Yeah.
Used to be like real heavy, like those first two albums. It's a little bit of a mixed bag these days with Five Finger Death Punch. Hard rock, hard to say because I know Seaver would be one. I think Stain's kind of on and off. I really haven't been paying attention too much with some of the hard rock. It seems to repeat those sort of bands too many times on the radio. And then you still got the metal ones that I listen to, and then everybody in the indie community nowadays.
Yeah. I think we here in Germany, we have no idea how the music market in the United States work really. You must have a huge country scene. You have superstars we don't know here in Germany, and they are mega sellers in the States. It's interesting, but a little bit strange for us little Europeans to hear some things from the States about this.
That'd be Taylor Swift, actually.
That's why I'm interested in if Five Finger Death Punch are mega sellers in the States or a little band. I don't know exactly.
I think the problem is pop and country will get you the bigger crowds. So, so like I said, like Taylor Swift, those sorts of artists. So, metal gets a nice crowd, but it's more underground and I won't say spread out, but I think it depends on like what people are really into in terms of metal.
Okay, thank you.
Hope that answers your question.
Yes. Now I know much more. Okay, thank you.
I would say I do know about Sodom, Destruction. Who's the other one? I think Blind Guardian.
Blind Guardian, sure.
From out of Germany. Who's the other one? I had it on the tip of my tongue. Creator, yeah.
Creator, sure. What do you think about Rammstein?
I think they play Du Hast too much.
Okay.
But I mean, I have huge respect for the music too. I think they're the German style of what Kiss was with the theatrics and everything.
Yeah, sure. In the past, with my former band project Grain of Sand, I told you in the first few minutes, we had 2 support gigs for Rammstein in Leipzig. I'm proud of it. Believe me.
That must have been badass.
Okay, but now they make
millions of dollars.
Yeah, millions of dollars. Stadium gigs. I saw them this year in Vienna. It was fantastic. It was great. But you are right. It was a great show. I just read last week that Kiss played their last goodbye show in New York City. And sure, I had some views on YouTube. Okay, more show than music, but same procedure as every year. But it's very, very impressive. It's like a Rammstein show is not only music, it's a visual experience.
I do love their song Deutschland, so I would say that would be my favorite from Rammstein.
Okay.
And there was one that was a little bit darker. It seemed to be Sadomasochist, I guess. I don't know what the name of the song was. It was actually on music video that they showed at a Hard Rock Cafe when I was in London.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
A little strange, but I mean, hey,
Yeah.
at least when you're speaking another language, you're able to get away with saying certain things, to say the least. So, yeah. So, are we good to jump in the final question? Or do you have something else?
What else may I ask? Wop. Not yet. I have to think about it.
Okay. I'll figure some more maybe at some point. And I'll send it through Messenger later. So, well, the final question I had for you, Thoralf, was deal with hope in a way. So, given what COVID has done, some people have been lucky, many maybe not. So, what sort of message of hope could you give to musicians and people out there as we try to move forward in a post-COVID world?
Wow, what a question. A philosophical question for me. There, to to answer it, an ancient Greece, very smart man said, there is no clear way to happiness, but there's one guaranteed way to be unhappy, and this is to make it for everyone right. You have to go your own way. But here in Germany, we have a discussion now in the Christmas time. So many people live as singles without a family. I think hope, what means hope? Hope and happiness are not so far away from each other. But I think I couldn't give a good advice, because happiness and is a very personal thing. Some people are happy alone. Some people like me are happy with a big family and friends. Some people are happy in their job. Some people like me needs happiness in family, job, music, in the whole world. I think if you're able to do not all, but some things you really like, then it's a good way to find happiness, your own way of happiness. Not all the things you like, but a few things, to realize a few things you want, to do a few things you like. I think it would help.
Spoken like a true prodigy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Thoralf, we've reached the end of my podcast right here. Did you have any other questions or any final words you want to say before we close?
Sure. I have to send you the warmest greetings from my bandmates from Factory of Art from Germany. We wish you a Merry Christmas, and sure, enjoy the next days, and hope we see in this way together again when our new album is published. And I wish you personally only the best. And thank you very much to give me the chance to talk to you.
No worries. I can thank Marco for that. So, everyone, my guest today was Thoralf Schulze, hailing from Deutschland, Leipzig, Deutschland to be more specific. Go check out the music, Factory of Arts. And what sort of social media can people reach you on if they want to interact or check out your music?
Oh, we are Facebook, Insta. We have a Spotify account and YouTube. You only have to Google Factory of Art, and it will work.
All right, sounds good. And next time we meet, make sure you bring up any other questions you missed in this interview too. So that'd be
Sure.
nice.
I think about it.
All right, we'll consider this part 1. So
Yes. Okay.
all right, to be continued. All right. So Thoralf, I want to thank you again so much again for coming on, and I wish you all Merry Christmas. God bless. You all stay safe. Stay tuned, y'all.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Bye. Bye.